So, let's start like we've been starting with intentional breathing. Alexa, volume 1. We're going to take a breath in. Count to 10. And release it through your mouth. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel your jaw relax. And let's begin. We need one more heartbeat for our flash goal. Achieved. So before we start, just a quick reminder, none of this is medical advice. I am sharing education and life experience. Always talk to your practitioner before changing or adding anything to your medicinal regime. This is not medical advice. So we're going to start with the basics. What does stacking mean? When we say stacking, we're not talking about reckless mixing. We're talking about a strategic combination of safe, physician-guided therapies that target different biological pathways. GLPs mainly work through your gut-brain axis, as we know, as we've concentrated on for weeks now. I have talked about the gut-brain axis. The gut talks to the brain, and that is what the GLPs talk through. They regulate insulin, slow the digestion, and help with satiety. But they don't always touch everything. Especially cravings, moods, or energy. That's where stacking comes in. Some people work with their physicians to add medications that help fine-tune those areas. Just give it that final nudge that it needed. So why do some people stack? Why do some physicians offer stacking to some patients? Cravings and compulsive eating. GLPs lower hunger, but don't always stop brain-driven cravings. There are some people that their cravings are so intense that they go right through the GLP. The GLP cannot help them. Plateaus. After 6, 9, 12 months, many experience metabolic slowdowns or diminished response to the medication. Hi, Lisa. And they'll run into plateaus where they're no longer losing. They're just staying steady. So they just need that extra tweak to get them going. Mental health. Some people need a little mood help, a little focus help. And emotional eating often needs support beyond the gut hormones. Sustainable weight maintenance. Stack therapy can help maintain results long term once weight loss stabilizes. Those are all great reasons. You're fine, Kaylee. I'm sorry it's not working correctly. I wish it was. Hello, Mrs. Adams. So now we know why people stack. We know what stacking is. Hi, Erin. So let's think about some common medications that are used in stacking. One of the first ones that doctors will go to because it has a mild effect on the body is topiramate. Now, topiramate was originally used as a seizure drug. That is what it's FDA approved for, is seizures. Does anyone know what most people use it for, though? "95% of scripts written for topiramate are actually written for headaches. It helps with headaches, even though it has FDA approval for seizures. Well, now they're also finding that it helps with other things when paired with a GLP. So originally used for migraines and seizures, topiramate reduces appetite and changes your taste preference. Some call it the soda tastes bad drug. It can be helpful for people with binge patterns or carb cravings. The key with topiramate is slow titration. You start the doses low. Sedation or tingling are side effects to be monitored. This one must always be prescribed carefully and under the immediate supervision of your practitioner. The next one we're going to talk about that you can stack is Contrave. Contrave works on the dopamine and reward pathways, the same ones that control cravings and emotional eating. Stacking this with GLPs can give a double hit approach. GLPs handle appetite and blood sugar, while Contrave works on the brain's reward center. You may see improved control over snacking and food fixation, and sometimes even better mood stabilization with Contrave. The problem with Contrave is a lot of insurances won't pick up Contrave. It's extremely expensive when you when you prescribe it as Contrave. The thing is, you can prescribe it as naltrexone and bupropion, which are both very economical medicines. And those two medicines make up Contrave. And you actually get better control and less drowsiness when you do it that way, because you can take the naltrexone at night and the bupropion in the morning, and you get better control over the cravings and the food fixation. Erin does Contrave with Qsymia, and hers was like $70 with insurance. Yeah, it's, if you look at what the real price is that they're charging insurance, though, it's crazy. Another one that some doctors consider would be Vyvanse. Vyvanse is FDA approved for binge eating disorder and ADHD. For people whose overeating is impulsive and tied to focus, Vyvanse is the perfect medication to pair. It can help calm the brain chatter and bring structure back to your life. Stacked with GLPs, it can be extremely powerful, but it needs to be under close supervision again, especially regarding blood pressure, heart rate, and sleep. Then there's also Cymbalta. You get yours direct from the Contrave, free shipping, $99 a bottle, which lasts you 2 months. That's awesome, Melissa. I didn't know you could do that. Do you just send your script into them? Sorry about the dogs barking. So Cymbalta is a SNRI medication, often prescribed for mood, anxiety, and chronic pain. Many on GLPs struggle with emotional dips and body discomfort as they lose weight. Cymbalta supports mood stability and may reduce pain sensitivity, which can help with movement motivation. So a lot of times physicians will add Cymbalta early in the game to get their patients moving again. Some other things that you can do is this one I don't even like, but in my readings, Wellbutrin alone, sometimes used off-label for appetite and motivation. Wellbutrin is trash. I do not like Wellbutrin. Which one did you start this week, Jamie? Oh, not Wellbutrin. I'm sorry. I'm thinking metformin. I'm tired. Wellbutrin is Contrave, and you can do Contrave alone. And try that and see if just having the food noise stopped is good enough. Now, Trexone alone can help reduce cravings for alcohol, sugar, or emotional eating triggers. Thank you, Erin, for saying that, because I was so picturing metformin in my head. And low doses of topiramate with bupropion are an off-label mix similar to Contrave, but it's customized to the patient. Now let's talk a little bit about the science behind combination therapy. Let's talk about the why each medication in a stack touches a different neurotransmitter or hormone. So GLPs are gut-brain insulin connection. Contrave are dopamine and reward control centers. Topiramate is GABA glutamate modulation. So it reduces food reinforcement. Vyvanse is dopamine and norepinephrine. Norepinephrine balance, which is the focus and impulse control. Cymbalta is serotonin and norepinephrine for mood and pain management. Together, they all create a synergistic effect. Helping you feel satisfied, focused, and emotionally steady throughout the day. And that's the goal. Not more medications, but smarter use of what targets you need. Tiny Danny, roar! Tiny Danny, roar! Tiny Danny, roar! So, how to start a conversation with your doctor? This is where people freeze like a deer in the headlights. They don't know how to bring it up. They feel like they're drug seeking if they bring it up with their doctor. They feel like they shouldn't be asking for another medication. But here's how to start that dialogue without feeling awkward or pushy. Use data and self-awareness. Say something like, I've noticed the GLP helps my appetite, but I'm still struggling with focus, cravings, and motivation. Could we talk about additional support options for that? And then you throw it back in the physician's hand. Whatever the physician comes up with, you can bounce back and say, I've read a little bit about Contrave, or whichever one you were wanting to try. Try asking your practitioner, don't tell them. I read about such and such medication. It's being used for appetite and mood control. Do you think that would be appropriate in my case? Would I be a candidate for that medication? Ask them. Don't be pushy. Just ask them. Frame it as a wellness partnership. I want to build a sustainable plan that supports both my mental and metabolic health. What would that look like long term, Doc? Discuss monitoring. Ask how they'll track progress with labs or side effects that shows you're being proactive and safe. What does the dog have? Hopefully a bone. Sounds gross. Hi, Reese. Hi, Reese. It's a dog in a sweater. Remember, physicians appreciate patients who come informed but open-minded. So what not to do when you go into your physician? Don't self-prescribe or combine medications from online sources. Don't assume more is better. Don't compare exact doses with other people online. Don't take medical advice from a stranger on the internet. Your body chemistry and goals are unique to you. Your physician and you know your plan. Don't be afraid to pivot if something does not feel right. Side effects are not failures, they are feedback. Okay? Remember, this journey isn't about the scale. It's about building a stable, peaceful relationship with food. Whether your doctor adds one medication or just adjusts your plan, stacking is about creating balance, not overload. Now let's end with an intentional breathing. In through the nose. Count to 10. Out through the mouth. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel your jaw relax. And we're done. Any questions? Gizmo gives you a fashion show, runs away, a walk anytime you put clothes on her. Yeah, and sometimes you can do it on something like my chart. Shoot them a message and say, hey, can we think about adding in this? Sometimes you guys see them in person. Sometimes you can do a video visit. I put them on YouTube, and then I usually also post a link to it on Facebook. Sometimes the links don't work on Facebook. I don't know why. So the best place to go is YouTube. Oh, Press, I know. I forgot. It's so easy to say them. The tube of you And the Book of Faces. I love TikTok Shop. I love TikTok Shop. I love TikTok Shop. Hey, little girl. Trying to run off with my cow slipper. You're fighting food noise right now. It comes and goes. Just remember, when you get the food noise, take 2 bites of protein, drink a glass of water, wait 15 minutes. If you're still hungry, eat. Yeah, I think it does, Aaron. Yeah. Needs needs a PA just like they do when you do an egg hunt. Surprise.